Alright, greetings ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Random Rambles podcast. This is the first ever episode. I'm Andy.
I'm Cody, the Kid Games.
Well...
Cody's my name, but the
yeah.
Kid Games is my handle.
But, anyway, so, this is our first ever one. This is our first ever podcast that we're... Well, it's not the first ever podcast that we're doing, because we did plan a podcast before. And we actually recorded
Actually, that one's still up.
That's
the one we kept up.
We kept one of them up. We kept one episode up, but I remember we recorded at least like 3 other ones. But then we never uploaded those for whatever reason. I think it was because we were waiting to get a certain amount of episodes done. But I think now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be uploading these pretty much as soon as I get home every time. So that way, it can be up at the right time. But these are basically going to be general discussions at the beginning, and then we're going to devolve into kind of devolve it into gaming, and then another passion of ours is wrestling, that's the only other video that we still have up, I believe, is the Extreme Rules predictions from 2015. God, that was so long. That was over a year ago now.
Yeah, we need to start doing that more.
Yeah, I would like to do that a bit more, honestly, but that's what this might actually become at some point. Like, maybe we can start doing our predictions like that, even though the pay-per-views will be like 2 days from when we record these, because I'm probably going to end up coming over here every Friday. So these are probably going to be uploaded on Saturdays though, because by the time I get home and get it uploaded, that's when that's going to happen.
All right, but first topic, let's go.
Okay, are we just going to go straight into gaming, or are we just going to do some random stuff first? Because we haven't really discussed that much. So today we recorded Sonic 3D Blast. That was fun.
Yeah, that is probably one of the best games of all time.
Definitely. One of the greats.
I believe you said it was your number 2.
Oh, yes. It's a solid number 2. That's what it is. It's a very, very solid number 2.
But we also did a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh today, because Yu-Gi-Oh is Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, in fact, we literally just got done recording the first duel in Duelist of the Roses. So that's something. Whenever you see that video up, this is when it was recorded. So
that's a thing, right?
Yeah, that's a thing. It's a game. It's a game. It's an alright game.
Is there any other big news of game? Actually, yeah, let me talk about this.
Okay.
This actually refers to... This is a game that's going to come out that we both love. 2K17 with Gold Back. Gold Back.
Okay, we're combining
Gold Back.
See, I feel like this would have been a better thing to use as a segue between the gaming and the wrestling sections, but we'll go with it.
Pre-order, you get Goldberg. What is your opinion of that?
No. I hate pre-order bonuses. I hate them so much. And you know what? Let's go ahead and start talking about gaming, because that's pretty much what we're doing now. So, pre-order bonuses are the worst, because it's essentially asking you to buy a game before you know if it's any good or not. Granted, I do this all the time with games like Smash, but that's because I knew Smash was going to be good. It's Smash. How is it not going to be? The only way they could screw that game up is if they just completely crash the game at the start. That's pretty much the only way they could do it. Only way I can think of, or just make it not Smash anymore. That's the only way I can think of. But with pre-order bonuses for things like these AAA games, it seems weird because, for one, the game hasn't come out yet. And you haven't seen any reviews of it, so you don't know if it's really all that good. And then they're asking you to pay all this money for it, and sometimes they ask you to pay a bit more just to get certain other bonuses, and sometimes those are pre-order bonuses as well.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you have to buy the $80 Call of Duty game, the $80 version, just to get Modern Warfare.
That was and there's no separate Modern Warfare Remastered. You have to get Infinite Warfare, the $80 version, just to get Modern Warfare Remastered. Like, you can't even get the regular game and get it. You have to get the $80 version, which, if I'm going to be honest, I think that's what's going to force a lot of people to buy Infinite Warfare. Like, they're going to buy Infinite Warfare just to get Modern Warfare Remastered because they really want that game.
Yeah, that game was a great game, and when we play Modern Warfare, you'll see why.
But I'm not buying it because I don't buy Call of Duty anyway, so...
Yeah, we'll touch on that eventually.
Eventually.
When we get to it. I'm not going to go out and buy all the Call of Duty games in order right now, because I don't have the money for that.
No. Oh, man. Man, Call of Duty. How about that? How about that most disliked trailer ever on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more disliked than any movie trailer, any other game trailer, any trailer at all. It's the second most disliked video on the entire website, second only to Justin Bieber.
And I see why.
I haven't watched the trailer. I only went to the video just to actually see if these pictures, these screenshots of all those dislikes were real. And they were. They were absolutely real.
Do you know how many dislikes it has?
It had over 2 million, I think, or at least it had at least over 1 million. It might have gotten over 2 million by now, or maybe even 3.
Let me check that. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, you can check that right now, because that honestly kind of shocked me a bit. And here's the thing: I don't think it's just because it's the same game every year. I think part of it's also because now, one of the main complaints I've seen about Infinite Warfare is that it looks like it's trying to be a Halo clone. Like that's one of the things I've seen.
Yeah, because the people who worked on Halo jumped over. Yeah, it's got 2 million dislikes.
2 million.
2 million.
Oh my god.
Alright, but let's talk about this. I'm moving on from gaming now, because I just thought about this.
Okay.
Let's go to movies for a minute.
Okay, we're gonna do some movie talk. Alright, cool.
Trivia question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many movies are actually considered X-Men movies now? And who the new inductee into the X-Men movie franchise?
Well, I know Deadpool is part of the X-Men franchise now. And now here's the thing. Do you mean like literally all the movies in the franchise, or do you mean all the movies in the franchise that are actually canon now since Days of Future Past? Because I know Days of Future Past retconned a few of those movies.
It retconned the movie we're about to watch, yeah.
Yeah, I know it retconned 3, which a lot of people didn't like from what I heard. I've heard some people like it, but I've heard a lot of people didn't.
A lot of people didn't because it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Well, it did, but it didn't.
I know people loved X1 and X2.
Yeah.
And people absolutely hated Origins.
I like Origins. I don't know.
I know people especially hated Deadpool in Origins, though.
But you know who Deadpool was in Origins?
It was Ryan Reynolds, I know.
Yeah.
I know it was Ryan Reynolds, but the thing was...
For a part of it, it was Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he wasn't the...
Oh, he wasn't the mouth sewn shut Deadpool?
Yeah, he wasn't that Deadpool.
He was Wade Wilson then.
Yeah, before.
Before, yeah. Ugh. From what I heard, that movie was a train wreck, and the game was better, from what I heard.
The game was great. That's another topic, though.
But, yeah, we'll talk about that
But, yeah,
later.
we have 8 movies.
8?
8.
Yeah. Is that including Deadpool?
Actually, if you're including Deadpool, that would make 9.
I know Apocalypse is coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, Apocalypse makes 8. Deadpool makes 9. Deadpool 2 makes 10.
Yeah, that's right. Deadpool's getting a sequel. Which is
already
awesome, by the way. I loved the Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
That movie was great.
Alright, but since we're talking about superheroes,
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard, you know a movie I want to watch that I know you've heard of, but you've probably never seen?
What is it?
The Watchmen.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't seen that one either.
I heard that was one of the worst superhero movies of all time.
No, actually, I heard that was pretty good. I thought that was the one that people thought was good.
People thought it was good, but they thought it was too much. Because it's not about exactly superheroes. It's more about superheroes that kill and stuff. And a lot of people thought it was too much blood and gore and stuff like that in the movie, but I've never seen it, so I don't know.
I haven't seen it either, so I wouldn't know. I do want to see it just to see what all the fuss is about, like see if it's any good. But there's a lot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I haven't seen now. Like back, I don't know how long ago it was. I think this was only a year after Iron Man 3 came out, or maybe it was the year of Iron Man 3's release. I don't remember exactly, but I remember there was one year where I binge watched pretty much all of the cinematic universe up to that point, up to the point of Iron Man 3, I think.
Except for Daredevil and Elektra.
That's not part of the cinematic universe.
I know, it's not canon anymore.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think the Netflix series Daredevil is actually part of the cinematic universe now.
Yeah. But also, that's another thing, though. There's a lot of these movies, like the Superman movies. Are they canon or are they not canon?
Okay.
That's the thing. Like,
so
I get confused with that.
Here's the thing. Superman 1 through 4 and Returns, I believe, are all one series, I think.
Yeah.
And then there's Man of Steel, and then Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Oh, excuse me. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice is also part of that same universe.
Alright, while we're talking about that, let's talk about the feud between Civil War and Batman vs. Superman. Because, think about it. They're the same movie, basically.
Well, not really.
They're the same type of...
Well, okay,
gimmick.
yeah, it is superhero versus superhero, but the main difference is Batman v Superman is between just two superheroes, and even then, we all know what's going to happen. We all know that they're going to fight for a bit, and then by the end of the movie, they're going to team up, and at the very end of the movie, they're going to end up forming the Justice League. That's what's going to happen.
But
I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure I know that's what's going to happen.
But also, it acts like it wants to be the start of its own cinematic universe.
But they skip so many steps.
So many steps.
Like,
all these people are in this movie. They have no backstory at all. But all these people are in this movie.
That's what I kept hearing. Like, that's what I heard the main complaint was about that movie.
Oh my god.
That's what I heard the main complaint about that movie was that it looked like they were trying to start their own cinematic universe like Marvel was. And they are. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to start the DC cinematic universe, but they skipped. They didn't give Batman his own movie. They are now. They're gonna give Batfleck his own movie. They're probably gonna give Wonder Woman her own movie, which all this should have been done before this movie.
Yeah.
We should have had the Batman movie before we had, Man of Steel. And
we had Iron Man. We had Thor. We had Hulk.
We had Iron Man 2. And we had Captain America. We had all four. We had 5 movies before the Avengers happened. The only heroes in the Avengers that were not given that much backstory before then were Hawkeye, Black Widow, and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
That was it. And sure, Nick Fury didn't appear all that much, but do we really need to know that much about Nick Fury? It's Samuel L. Jackson. That's what we know about him.
And Samuel L. Jackson is perfect for the part.
Oh, definitely. He was the perfect one. Perfect Nick Fury for that movie, especially the movie itself, because the Avengers was great. Because I remember I watched Iron Man and then Incredible Hulk and then Iron Man 2 and then I watched Thor again because I'd already seen Thor before, but I watched it again just to refresh myself and it was all right. Captain America, the first Captain America.
Have you seen Dark World?
Not yet. I've heard that one was also kind of meh.
Yeah, it was kind of bad.
I did see Captain America: The Winter Soldier though, and that
was a good movie.
That was amazing.
That was a good movie.
That's like one sequel that vastly improved on the original.
Yeah.
Like it basically all the complaints that I had about the first movie were gone in the second one.
You know the one complaint I have about the Avengers though?
What's that?
They don't have the rights to Spider-Man.
They do now, actually.
When?
They actually announced either last year or the year before that Spider-Man was actually going to be coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we didn't know when. At the time, people were like, "Oh, it's not going to be Civil War. That's the next movie, but that's the next big movie. But like, it's not going to be that. It's too soon." Spider-Man's in the trailer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in Civil War.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to see Civil War so badly. I've heard so many good things about that movie. I just haven't gotten the chance to see it yet.
But talking about that, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was probably the best so far, in my opinion. I did not like the Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay, here's the thing. I like Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And I liked Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. If you could have had both of those together, it would have been perfect. Like, if Tobey Maguire could have acted like Andrew Garfield did as Spider-Man, then I think it would have been perfect. Because what was really lacking from Tobey Maguire's performance as Spider-Man was the comedy. And that's what Spider-Man is. Spider-Man is he's quick-witted, he's, making fun of his enemies. He's he and Sonic basically share that similarity. They taunt their enemies as they're fighting them. Yeah. And that's what I love about it.
That's what I love about Deadpool, too.
Oh, yeah, Deadpool just makes jokes all the time, no matter what, though.
Yeah.
Because, I remember in The Amazing Spider-Man, there was this one scene, I will never forget it, because it was probably one of the best scenes in the entire movie. It was when Spider-Man's going to stop this carjacker, because he's about to steal a car, and then this guy pulls a little knife on him, and Spider-Man gets on the car like, "Oh no, but you know about my one weakness, small knives." It was amazing, and but if there's one thing Spider-Man related that I really love, it's Spectacular Spider-Man, but we can talk about that later. But yeah, but from what I heard, this Spider-Man in Civil War is really good. I've heard he's good. So
I hope so.
I'll have to wait and see. I like the costume though. I like the costume they gave him. So that's a bonus. Because I remember watching the trailer. It was the second trailer for Civil War. I was watching it, and then all of a sudden, Iron Man calls out for someone, and then at the time I didn't know what he was saying, but he actually said underoos. But anyway, and then this web comes down, grabs Captain America's shield, and pulls it up, and then the next thing you see, Spider-Man lands on top of a car and is holding Captain America's shield. It's an amazing shot. You have to see it to really understand. It's amazing. But yeah, I want to see Civil War. I just haven't yet. I haven't gotten the chance. I haven't gotten the time to just go to the theater and watch it.
And you noticed you made a pun, right? You said it's amazing.
But
amazing Spider-Man pun.
But yeah, that's that. Like, Spider-Man is honestly my favorite Marvel superhero. It's just he has not had the perfect movie yet, I don't think. Spider-Man 1 and 2 were good. They were really good.
Spider-Man 3 sucked balls.
Oh, Spider-Man 3 was terrible. Like, if they had just stuck with Sandman in that movie, it could have been pretty good. The problem was they tried to squeeze in Venom, too.
They tried too much.
They tried to squeeze in too much into one movie. That's what killed it. Because there was actually a fourth one planned, but because of Spider-Man 3's resounding failure, well, plans of any sequels for that movie were canceled. And then they rebooted the series not too long afterwards as The Amazing Spider-Man. That only had 2 movies. They planned this whole universe around The Amazing Spider-Man. Like, they were going to have a Sinister Six movie. They were going to have, 2 more Amazing Spider-Man movies. There was going to be so much Amazing Spider-Man stuff. And then the second one sucked. And the second one, basically the second Amazing Spider-Man movie had the same problems as Spider-Man 3. It tried to do too much in one movie. It tried to set up its own universe in that one movie, and it just did not work. But, that's that. It's over now. There's no more Amazing Spider-Man, so now it's going to be rebooted again, because apparently that Spider-Man that's going to be in Civil War is going to have his own movie series now, and I hope that's going to be good. I really hope that's going to be good. But I guess now, since we're talking about Spider-Man and I said something about the Spectacular Spider-Man, we can move on to TV and anime and stuffs. So Spectacular Spider-Man is probably one of the greatest Spider-Man things I've ever seen. I don't know if you've seen it, though. Have you?
I haven't.
You need to. It is better than any of the movies. It is that, like, it takes the good elements from those movies and amplifies them and makes characters that are so much better than any of those movies. Like the Venom storyline is actually really, really good in the Spectacular Spider-Man TV series. And the crime is, it was canceled way too soon. It got canceled after only like 26 episodes. It was like 2 seasons long. It did not. It didn't last long because of legal crap.
There was one on Disney XD that was really good. I cannot think of the name.
I know there's Ultimate Spider-Man. That's the newest one. That one's on Disney XD right now. And I know they play reruns of Spectacular Spider-Man on Disney XD now. Like, they can play the reruns of that show, but they can't make any more for some reason. I really wish they would, though. Like, that series deserves more. Because it was that good. The animation was great. The voice acting was great. The story was great. The writing was great. Everything, and the theme song was extremely catchy. Like, that theme song is one of the catchiest Spider-Man themes I've ever heard.
Alright. But I'm about to make a segue.
Well, actually, I want to talk about anime real quick, because okay. Ace Attorney anime.
I was actually about to ask you about that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Ace Attorney anime. What about it? What happened?
So let's see. I'm about 8 episodes in yet. I am a week behind because of where I'm a free Crunchyroll user, and I can't view the episodes until after 1 week that they've been out. So I've got to wait until this Sunday to watch episode 9. So they've gotten through the 3rd trial. They've gotten through the 3rd case. The Steel Samurai case.
Yeah.
And they're just now, and they just started the 4th case. The murder at the lake thing. The case where you face Von Karma. And based on the preview I saw for the next episode, it's gonna take me a little bit to get used to Von Karma's face. He looks so weird. But that's the main complaint that I have about the Ace Attorney anime, is the animation itself. Some of the animation is just flat out bad.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the best animated anime I've ever seen. I mean, the story's good, but then again, it's based on the game. So I mean, I knew they couldn't mess the story up. They would have to try really hard to mess that up. And of course, they've added some scenes and they've cut some things out because anime, they kind of have to do that. But I think what they've changed about it makes is still good. Like, there was this one scene. It was the scene where it was in episode 2, and this is one scene that I will see as like an amazing scene throughout this entire anime. It was where after Grossberg has officially denied defending Maya, because what they did at first was, instead of Grossberg flat out denying it at first, they actually had him agree to it at first. And then Red White called him, and then later on he called Phoenix, Grossberg called Phoenix, and was basically like, yeah, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm sorry, but I can't do it. So Phoenix went out. You didn't see him actually go out to any of these places, but the next scene that you see is him showing up to the detention center talking to Maya, and he's sopping wet from the rain because it's been raining. His bag is soaked, his hair's soaked, just everything is soaked, and like Maya's like, so I've been abandoned, and then Phoenix like pulls out this book with all of these law firms that he wrote down in it and crossed out that wouldn't take the case, and then he circled like 3 of them because those were the ones that would listen to them, and then he starts to walk away and is about to go ask those law firms about the case again, and then Maya basically stops him, and and then both of them basically at once, like Phoenix asks to defend her and she asks Phoenix to defend him at the same time, and then they try and bow and they both hit their heads on the glass, and it's just it's funny. It's touching and it's funny at the same. That's the joy of Ace Attorney, though. That's like the thing about Ace Attorney. You can have the serious moments, but they're usually followed up by something pretty funny. That's a main strength that I see about that show, about the games and the show right now. They both share the same kind of feeling throughout, and I like that. I like that they've been able to do that. Maybe I would have liked something new, a little bit better, but I think right now the way it is, it's good. The story's good. It's just you got to get past the animation being,
Being okay, not
yeah,
great, but okay.
yeah. Maya's honestly the best looking character in the entire series in terms of her animation because she's pretty much the only character they animated well. It feels like, but it's essentially, other than the animation, it's essentially just about what I pictured the Ace Attorney anime to be whenever it was finally going to come out. So, it's good. I like it. It's fun. And while I can only watch it subbed because there's no English dub yet, I think sub is just fine. Watching subbed anime is a lot easier than I actually thought it would be. And I learned that thanks to One Punch Man.
One Punch Man!
That show is amazing, by the way. One Punch Man?
Yeah. I haven't really watched any anime lately, because I don't really have internet right now. But,
yeah. But I would say, if you ever get the chance, watch One Punch Man. All of it. It's only 12 episodes right now. There's only one season right now. It's only 12 episodes. It is really good. Like, the concept sounds boring at first. Like, this guy can destroy anything in one punch. But it's because it's basically a parody of superheroes, and it's like, it doesn't take itself seriously at all.
Comedy.
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy about it. Like, I know some people might be like, oh, and I haven't really said it yet, but like, I've never been a big fan of Superman because of just how OP he is, and like, it's like, well, I mean, if Superman were here, the day would be saved already. Bam, done.
Yeah.
But that's what I don't like about Superman, is because it's too easy. Superman is too easy. But with One Punch Man, even though his powers might even be greater than that of Superman, honestly, it's debatable. But even though he's just as OP, it's funny. And it doesn't take itself seriously. It doesn't try to take itself seriously. It's just, it knows that Saitama is OP, and it embellishes that fact, it embraces that fact, and it runs with it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the power levels in DBZ meaning absolutely nothing. They're there, but they mean absolutely nothing. Yeah.
But, I mean, that's why they stopped talking about power levels after a while, because everyone basically realized there's no point. Like, after the Frieza saga, everyone stopped talking about power levels. Because they were so useless. Because by that point, everyone could transform and change their power level at any given time. So it didn't matter.
OP.
But anyway, that's my thing about One Punch Man. So if I could recommend two anime to anyone right now, unfortunately you still have to watch them subbed right now. I've heard that they're working on One Punch Man dub, so I'll watch that when that comes out because, I want to see it again. And I want to see what the dub does to it. I want to see if they can get the right cast for it. I'm pretty sure they can.
Alright, but here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about death in anime? Like, how sometimes, in America, we get a dumbed down anime because, people die in Japanese anime and they won't show that on TV for some reason.
Well, here's the thing. We've been getting that a lot less recently, actually. They've started to tone down. They've started to back off on that. They've started to actually let the dub, like Funimation and stuff, they've actually started to let the anime just be the anime, just dubbed in English. That's one of the things I liked about Attack on Titan. It didn't, from what I know, I haven't heard of any English edits to it. Like, I haven't heard of anything that really they edited out, because they definitely didn't edit out any blood or deaths. Because really, you can't.
Yeah, if you did, it would be stupid.
Yeah, but it definitely happened with Dragon Ball Z. Like, Dragon Ball Z became very kid-friendly over here in America. And that's one reason why there are some people that actually really like Kai, because apparently Kai is a much more accurate translation of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the uncut version specifically, I should say. Because the TV version, from what I remember, sucked. Because they edited so much about that. Like, they made Mr. Popo blue in the 4Kids version.
Yeah.
Which was stupid. Because I guess people were like, oh, it's racist, but
when you turn it blue, it doesn't make it less racist.
No.
It actually makes it more racist.
Well, and they did that with Jinx too in Pokemon. Like, originally, to avoid controversy, Jinx over here in America is actually like purple or something.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. I honestly think she looks better purple, honestly. But it's whatever. But we've been seeing a lot less anime censorship over here recently, especially with uncut DVD releases. That's becoming more of a thing, and now they're starting to air uncut stuff on TV now. Like, there's Toonami now. That got brought back as part of Adult Swim on Saturday nights. And because it's on Saturday nights, it's late night television now. They don't have to edit that. They don't have to, censor it at all. So they can just run with it. They aired Attack on Titan on that thing.
Yeah.
And that really shows you what they can do with it now. But that's the thing. We've been getting a lot less of that recently. I remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Was definitely one of the anime that got a ton of censorship, though.
Yeah.
Well, even the anime itself was kind of toned down from the original manga, though. Because...
Yeah, I read the manga.
Oh. Yeah, Bandit Keith is dead in the manga.
Yeah.
Well, he got brought back in Yu-Gi-Oh! R, but that's...
He was still dead. He died.
He died. He literally... Like, Pegasus killed him.
Yeah, he made him shoot himself in the head.
And actually, there were edits. Even then, 4Kids still edited that anime. They took out some scenes, and they edited out certain things like guns.
Yeah.
Like, that scene where Bandit Keith is just pointing at Pegasus in the anime, like at Duelist Kingdom? Like, he jumps up to Pegasus and, like, points at him?
Yeah.
In the original Japanese version,
he had a gun.
He had a gun.
Just like when Kaiba jumps out the window. The two security guards are pointing at him like they have a gun, but there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. Because 4Kids are like, oh no, kids won't understand guns.
I understand gun.
Gun is bad.
You see gun, you run.
Yeah, like, it made no sense for Kaiba to run from them in the English version, because they didn't have guns. Like, he could have just run right through them instead of jumping out the window, but then you see the Japanese version and you're like, oh, okay, they had guns.
I understand that now, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, they got, what?
Yeah, and the thing is, there was actually going to be an uncut English dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! But they only made 9 episodes, and because of legal issues afterwards, it got shut down. And I can't find those DVDs anywhere anymore. Like, I found one of them at a... God, what was it? It was so long ago. I don't even remember what store it was. But I remember I was in the mall and I found it, and it was volume 2. It was it was Weevil's thing.
Yeah.
Where Yugi battled Weevil and then Joey battled Mai. And it was better, honestly, now that I think about it. And the Japanese music, some of it was actually a lot better. Like, I vastly prefer the Japanese transformation music for when Yugi transforms into Yami.
Yeah.
That music is epic. It is absolutely amazing. Like, it's better than that. Like, it's this actual tune that's really catchy. And they play it more than in that point, but, like, it's really good. It's an amazing song. And I even kind of prefer the Japanese openings too, like the Japanese opening to the anime. I kind of prefer that too, over the your move, your move, your move, your move, your move. Like, they're just repeating your move in Yu-Gi-Oh, and then it's time to duel, and then they just. I mean, I like the instrumental near the end, but other than that, I kind of prefer the Japanese opening. I wish there would be, I wish they had the ability to continue that uncut dub. I wish Funimation could just scoop up the rights to Yu-Gi-Oh, redub it. You know, maybe get those actors back in, like Dan Green and everyone else, but, you know, redub it. Make it better. You know, I would have loved to see that. But unfortunately, we've only got 9 episodes, and you can only find one online.
Yeah.
The first one. And even when I went back and watched that one was really good. It was a lot better. Because they showed some scenes that they didn't show in the original.
That made it make more sense.
Yeah, like they didn't show Yugi's grandfather getting kidnapped in the original English version of the anime. Like, they cut that scene out entirely. But then I saw that scene in the uncut dub, and I was like, whoa, hey, okay, that's how he did it. Because before, it was just, it cut, and then all of a sudden, his grandfather got kidnapped. At some point, off screen. And it made no sense. But then they showed the kidnapping scene, and it's like, oh, okay. It happened. But it just... And then also, Kaiba's reasoning in the original was, I tore it, so it can't be... Like Kaiba's reasoning for tearing the Blue Eyes White Dragon card in the original English version was, you know, so it can never be used against me. And in the original series, Yugi actually brings up a good point. Well, in that case, why don't you just tear up every card in the whole world?
Yeah.
But then in the original version, in the uncut dub, Kaiba explains it as, I tore it up because I can only have 3 in my deck, and this one could be used against me if it got out, if it got out of my hands.
Yeah.
And that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense just to say, oh, it could be used against me. Well, of course it could be used against you. Any card could be used against you. But then he explains that he already has 3, and that 4th one is just a hindrance.
He's still going to lose anyway, but...
Oh, he lost anyway, yeah, but I mean, still. It made a lot more sense for him to tear up the card in the original version than it did in the English dub that we got.
And also, for there to only be one... Well, at Duelist Kingdom time, for there to only be one version of Exodia was bullshit.
Yeah, that was one thing I didn't get about the show. Like, it's a card game, and there's only one card of each piece of Exodia. That's no card game would ever do that. No card game would ever release just one copy of one card in particular. And if they did, it would be a very special edition, and then they would release an actual, like, standard edition later on, so that way other people could use it too.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's so stupid about it. Because in that universe, there's only a select number of each type of card. Like the Egyptian god cards, there's only one of each.
Yeah. But I got a question about an anime that you probably haven't watched.
Okay.
Camp Fever.
I have never even heard of it. Camp Fever?
Yes.
I've never heard of that, no.
WWE Camp Fever.
Oh, you mean Camp WWE?
Yeah, Camp WWE.
Oh, yeah, I actually have watched some episodes of that. I've
and
watched
that's not really
3.
Anime, it's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's a cartoon, but it's TV. Well, technically, it's on the network. It's network exclusive.
It's on the network.
It's all right.
Speaking of the network, $9.99. Are you glad they stopped doing that?
They haven't.
They haven't?
Not really. Especially at pay-per-view events. Like during the kickoff show, they're like, if you're not subscribed to the WWE Network, then why not? It's only $9.99 a month.
And it's free for a month.
Yeah, it's free for your first month. Okay, great. You know, whatever. I'm subscribed anyway now, so I can't complain too much now.
But why did you subscribe to the network?
Because HD streaming.
But back to Camp Fever before we get off.
Yeah, back to Camp WWE, and then we can use that as our segue to the wrestling part of this podcast. But Camp WWE is interesting. It's different. It's something. It's something, and that's about all I can really say about it. I've seen the first 3 episodes, and they're all right. But it definitely has that problem that new Family Guy episodes have, where the jokes drag on for too long. Like, some of the jokes just drag on way too long in that series. And some of the jokes don't really make any sense. However, I will say that some of the characters I like. I like the Vince McMahon character, who, by the way, is actually voiced by Vince McMahon himself. So Vince McMahon voiced a caricature of himself, and that is amazing to me.
Vince McMahon voiced himself?
Yeah. A lot of the legends voice themselves. Like, Vince voiced himself, Ric Flair voices himself.
Does John Cena voice himself?
No, actually, John Cena's one of the kids in the show. Jake the Snake voiced himself. Who else was there? I'm trying to remember. Sergeant Slaughter. He voices himself, too.
Oh, yeah. Did you see... Speaking of Sergeant Slaughter, I'm going to go on a tangent real quick. But did you see where he was at Mudcat Stadium?
Doesn't he go there quite a lot, actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, because... Is he from North Carolina or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought so. But yeah, I know he's been there a few times. I've seen videos up there of him sometimes. I think a few years ago we went there and I saw him up there on the big screen. But yeah. But Camp WWE is a thing. I will say though, I also like the Triple H and Stephanie characters. They don't voice themselves. They're Triple H and Steph are actually the camp counselors. They're teenage versions of themselves rather than like 8-year-old kids. So they're essentially the counselors. And they're not in love at all. They don't like each other at all. Not at all.
So they make it blatantly obvious?
Pretty much. Like, they don't ever kiss or anything, as far as I know right now. There's a few... I've missed, like, 2 episodes so far. I should probably watch the other ones to see if anything's really happened, but... Triple H definitely likes Stephanie, though. Definitely. He's mumbled under his breath something about watching her change or something like that. He sometimes mumbles under his breath certain things about Stephanie, so yeah. Because he's teenage boy, haha. Also, Stone Cold's character can be pretty annoying, though.
Why?
He's the annoying brat who goes around drinking beer, apparently. Because apparently an 8-year-old kid has access to beer. Somehow. I don't know how. It's Camp WWE, who really cares?
An 8-year-old kid has access to beer.
And like, his accent is just so... Ugh. Ugh. I don't want to say that I could do a better kid version of Stone Cold, but I think someone could.
Like who?
I don't know, but someone could. But, what kind of surprised me, though, was, the role of the Massive Eater wasn't Ryback. It was,
Bray Wyatt?
No, it was Big Show.
Oh.
They made him the idiot, guy who eats a lot. The idiot fat guy who eats.
The idiot fat guy who eats.
Which seriously would have been better suited for Ryback. But, you know, whatever. And R-Truth in Camp WWE is a lot more serious than he is on actual WWE programming. Like, he's no nonsense in the show. It's weird considering he's portrayed as a bit of a comedy character on actual WWE, on like Raw and SmackDown and stuff. Like one of his main gimmicks is that he, like, sometimes he thinks he's in a different match than he actually is. Like, sometimes he thinks he's in a match that he's not actually in. Like, last year he came out and said that he was going to win a ladder match or something like that. I think it might have been the Money in the Bank ladder match or something. And then they had to tell him after a while that, R-Truth, you're not even in the match.
Yeah.
And then at WrestleMania, and then at the Royal Rumble, he actually came out, grabbed a ladder, and climbed that ladder, thinking it was a ladder match, before he got eliminated. And then there was a sign at WrestleMania that said, R-Truth thinks this is SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But, anyway, but the Undertaker's character is pretty good. The Undertaker's character is emo.
No shit. I didn't see that at all.
He's basically like there was one time, it was the first episode, and Hunter basically tries to tell the kids the reason why they can't go back home is because their parents are dead. And then they hold a funeral, and the Undertaker eventually says something like, I am only saddened because there were not more deaths. And I kind of like the Undertaker's character in that show. It can be pretty funny. But yeah, it's interesting, to say the least. It's an interesting show.
But moving on to wrestling.
Yes, let's move on to actual WWE stuff. So, this week on Raw. Because I haven't seen SmackDown yet, I'm going to have to try and start watching SmackDown on Thursday nights now because... Well, actually, no. SmackDown's actually going to become easier for me to watch starting July 19th, but we'll talk about that later. But for right now, it's still on Thursday nights. And... I haven't seen it this week yet, but I do know Raw was... this week. There were no more Money in the Bank qualifying matches, which surprised me a bit, because it's like, you've only got 6 out of the 7 participants. Where's the 7th?
There's only 6, usually.
No, there's usually 7.
No, there's usually 6. The only reason there was 7 the other year, because I forgot what happened.
No, and the thing was, they actually had this little thing, like, you know how sometimes when they have qualifying matches for certain matches, they'll have, like, silhouettes of people?
Yeah.
Until they actually fill them in, and then, fill in all the silhouettes. There were 7 of those on Raw and SmackDown last week.
Oh.
So there was one more left after SmackDown last week, because on SmackDown last week, Alberto Del Rio qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match. On Raw last week, Ambrose, Jericho, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn all qualified for the match. So right now there are 6 participants, and there's still 1 slot left. And I've heard that, like, apparently they're not sure if they're going to have a 7th one yet. I feel like maybe they might be saving that slot for Bray Wyatt because, well, I'll talk about John Cena in a little bit. Because I thought John Cena was going to come in and take that slot. But, again, I'll talk about that.
Why not just talk about it?
Because I haven't started talking about Raw this week yet. I've been talking about last week. But anyway, but the reason why I heard, they're not sure about the 7th one. So that's why they didn't mention the change at first on Raw this week, because, they're not sure. But my theory is maybe they're saving it for Bray Wyatt. But because he doesn't have anything else going on right now, and he's not back yet, because he was injured a month or 2 ago. Not a very serious injury, but enough to put him out for a good little while.
Alright, I have a theory.
Okay.
Seth Rollins.
Nope. It's not him. He's already in the title match.
Oh, really?
He's already going against Roman Reigns for the title at Money in the Bank already. Because he returned during Extreme Rules, and then the next night on Raw, Shane basically said, alright, main event of Money in the Bank, Rollins, Reigns for the WWE Championship. So that's
that all?
Pretty much. That was it. That was it. Those two are going to be fighting for the championship.
Rollins, Reigns.
The massive cheers Rollins is getting right now. It's
Rollins is over, Reigns is not.
That's the thing. It's the opposite of what the WWE wants it to be. Because WWE want it to be the other way around. But it's not.
And look how Dean is. Dean is massively over.
Dean is massively over, but they're not doing anything with it. Hopefully. I'm actually really hoping they let him win the Money in the Bank, because I think that would be perfect for him. If he's supposed to be a lunatic and can go off at any second, let that be him.
Think about that, though.
Mm-hmm.
He wins Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns go into Mania. We finally get the triple threat.
We could.
We could very possibly get the Shield triple threat.
I honestly think that we will have a Shield triple threat at WrestleMania this year, but I think in order for that to really happen, there's got to be a double turn at some point. Like either Reigns turns heel and Rollins turns face, which is probably going to happen at some point.
Rollins is already a face.
Well,
so you need Roman.
Well, no, Rollins is being portrayed as a heel right now, but he's getting cheered. His reaction is that of a face, but his actions are heelish.
So he's Stone Cold.
He's supposed to be the bad guy right now.
So he's Stone Cold.
Well, no, because he came back and was basically like, you know what I did with all the fan mail you guys sent me? I burned it all. Because I don't need you. I don't need the authority. I don't need any of these people. I'm Seth Rollins. Basically, I'm the man.
It's all about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, he's a heel. But he's getting cheered like a face because people love Rollins. And they hate Reigns, so they boo Reigns, even though he's supposed to be the top babyface of the company, and that's sad.
We hate Reigns. We hate Reigns.
I don't hate Reigns, I just hate how he's been booked. But we'll talk about that later.
Alright, and you're gonna put a bullshit clip right here.
No, I really... Again, we'll talk about it at some point. Maybe during this podcast, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. Actually, we can take this podcast as long as we want. Really.
Yeah, but moving on.
Plug in the laptop again. You unplugged it.
Yeah, because my
Oh, your Xbox is on it. That's where we got the mic.
That's what I was trying to do.
So anyway, this week on Raw, the main interaction between Reigns and Rollins was nothing. It amounted to nothing. Because Reigns came out and cut his little, he cut a quick promo and somehow managed to fit in his I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm the guy thing in there, which is getting annoying, by the way. Please stop, unless you're actually going to turn him heel. Don't have him do that. But, And then Rollins came out, and it looked like he was going to talk, and then he didn't. It looked like he was going to get in the ring with Reigns, and then he didn't. And then it looks like he was going to get in the ring again, and he didn't. Like he was going to talk again, and he didn't. It looked like he was leaving, but he didn't. And then, you get the point. He didn't do anything. He acted like he was going to do a bunch of things, but then didn't. And then he eventually just left. And that was it. That was the end of the segment. So it amounted to nothing.
And also John Cena is back because he's a fucking super soldier.
Alright. Now we can talk about John Cena coming back.
No, but seriously, he is a fucking super soldier.
But first, before we talk about John Cena's actual return, I want to talk about something that happened just before his return.
Okay.
He had a shirt that was going to be going up. And it went up.
For auction?
No, it was up on the on the shop for all of maybe 5 minutes. Because I'll show you. See, I blocked this account since, but I can still look at the tweets. So let us see. Is it still up here? Yep, there it is. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to show you the shirt. That's the shirt. This is the shirt. And you can see right beside it the Pabst Blue Ribbon thing. Because that's the company that went after them. And here's what they said. I'm going to quote the tweet directly. And you can even see their logo right here. That's what their logo looks like. That's what the shirt looks like. And really, they look nothing alike. I mean, shirt uses a lot of the same general stuff. Like the color scheme is red, white, and blue. But that's just America thing. Yes, they use the stripe, but it's going the other way. And the fonts aren't even the same. And there's no ribbon here. It's just a circle. I'll put up a picture of the shirt right now.
It's like a don't sign.
Yeah.
Like a don't cross or whatever.
And he's wearing a Pabst Blue Ribbon shirt right in the picture beside it. so you can see what that shirt looks like compared to the shirt they were putting up on the shop. They eventually, there's a new version of the shirt now that doesn't look like this. It's different. But anyway, the Pabst Blue Ribbon Twitter account actually tweeted out with this picture that I have up on screen right now, and I'm actually gonna put the screenshot of the tweet up here now as well. A message to John Cena and the WWE. We have a chokehold called the cease and desist. Pretty sure we see you. And then there's a bunch of comments below this tweet. I don't think I can see them actually right now for some reason. But, some of them, but all of them, none of them liked what Pabst did here. None of them. And, everyone was like, really? You're going after this? You should actually be thankful that John Cena even agreed to this.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of people that apparently don't like the type of beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's a beer, apparently. I blocked the account now because apparently after I went to go view that one tweet, Twitter decided, oh yeah, you want to follow this account, right? Like, it put it in my recommended stuff, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put a stop to this right now, and I went to block it, and I just blocked it, just so I wouldn't see that account ever again. And that's why that's why it took me a little while to pull it up.
But here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
How can they see John Cena?
I don't know. See, I didn't even see anything in those pictures. I just saw the shirts.
But they're on John Cena. You can't see them either.
All right, fair enough. Anyway. Seriously though. Anyway, so John Cena came back on Raw, and
AJ Styles.
Yes, after he cut an American. Hold up. Let me just say this though. After he cut an America Yeah promo essentially because it was Memorial Day, so of course they were going to cut an America Yeah promo.
Yeah.
Which I didn't have a problem with, honestly. Which honestly, here's the thing. John Cena, when he's passionate about something, can deliver a really good promo. Like when he's passionate about it, he can deliver a really good one. Like if you'll know if he's really passionate about it. Like you will just know. But and it was a very powerful promo, honestly. It was he sounded passionate about it because he's a patriot. He's very good. He's very
patriotic.
He's very patriotic. Very, very patriotic. He loves this nation. He loves the military and everything they've done. So that's the main reason he's a babyface, I guess, because that's why they haven't turned him heel, is because of all that. But anyway, he cut one of those promos, and then AJ Styles came out, and then the crowd didn't let them talk for a good 2-3 minutes, I think, because they kept on chanting, and it was like this, it's like, chanting back and forth, like, let's go Cena, AJ Styles, and they just did that for a good while.
I'm surprised we didn't get Let's Go Cena. Cena!
Oh, there was that. It happened. I remember hearing it at some point. But anyway, so AJ comes out and at first he's basically like, welcome back, I respect you and all that stuff, and then he shook his hand, and then the Club, it's a stupid name. Here's the thing, it's not that I don't like the people in the Club. It's not that I don't like the people in the Club. I hate the name The Club. Because they can't use Bullet Club, so they just said The Club because they didn't know anything else to use.
Because bullshit.
But anyway, so they came out and were basically like, "What? So AJ, did you seriously come here to kiss ass and all this other stuff? Blah blah blah. You're over here kissing John Cena's ass and stuff like that. All that stuff." And then they said, "We didn't come here to kiss ass. We came to kick it." And then AJ takes off his shirt, throws it away like he's about to fight, and then John Cena basically does the same thing. And after he throws his shirt into the crowd, he turns around, and AJ Styles just immediately decks him with a clothesline, and then he and the Club start beating up on Cena. And then he exits, and then he goes back in, starts doing it again, and he goes back out again, and then he goes back in and does it again. Keep punching him, and then he goes back out again. Stays out for a little bit longer. Then he goes back in again. So this was no standard beat-up segment where it was just like, oh, beat up and then leave. This was...
Beat up, leave, beat up, leave, beat up, leave.
Yeah, it added something, really. I honestly kind of like that they didn't just stop it at a certain... just after the first time or two. Because it really... drove in the point that AJ Styles
does not like John
does
Cena.
not like Cena at all.
I respect you, but I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yep, pretty much. And the one thing that I hated about that segment, though, was one of them, I can't remember if it was Gallows or Anderson, but one of them kept on saying, "That's the AJ I love, that's the AJ we love, and I was just like, dude, shut up. You've said that like 10 times now, shut up. But, you know, and like at one point I remember the refs or the medics, they all came out to try and help Cena, and even after that, AJ came back and beat him up again. So it was a really good segment, honestly, and basically it's confirmed AJ has turned heel now.
Who confirmed it?
That segment. AJ's a heel now because, you know, Cena is, you know, the face that runs the place. You know, and Cena basically also talking about in his little promo, like, you know, oh, there's this new era, but, you know, the future has to go through me, you know, and stuff like that.
I want AJ to go over.
I want him to as well, but Lol Cena wins.
Lol AJ goes over.
I hope so, but it's not going to happen. But anyway, so I like that segment, honestly. It was probably the best segment of the entire night, honestly. It was the highlight of the entire episode.
Alright. Well, since we're talking about wrestling, I got a topic that it didn't happen this time, but it's been happening for the last few pay-per-views. The U.S. title on the pre-show.
It's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen anymore. I don't think it's going to happen anymore because Rusev has the title now.
It's Rusev.
It's Rusev. They're not going to relegate him to the pre-show.
It's Rusev.
Well, they didn't relegate the show where he won the title. They didn't relegate the match where he won the title to the pre-show. So I'm really hoping that trend continues. I really did hate that they kept putting Kalisto on the pre-show, though, with the U.S. title.
Yeah.
It made the U.S. title feel not important. It made it feel like it was this really low-tier title that didn't even deserve to be there.
Alright.
That's my outtake on it anyway. That's my outlook on it when that happens. If you put a title match on the pre-show, you're basically saying this title is not important.
Alright, but I'm about to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Top 5 wrestling matches that you've seen since you started watching.
Oh boy.
And the reason I say that is because you're newer than I am.
Oh, I'm definitely very, very new. And I'm not gonna list these in any specific order, but I'm gonna list some ones that come to mind instantly like that. For example, Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura at NXT TakeOver Dallas. That was amazing. That was an amazing match. I don't know if you've seen that match.
Amazing.
Oh, and by the way, quick side note, Nakamura's theme. Yes.
That chant though.
Which one?
Seriously.
Fight Forever?
Fight Forever.
Yeah. Another match that immediately comes to mind like that is Kevin Owens versus John Cena. Really all three of them, but mainly the Elimination Chamber match. Well, you know, not an Elimination Chamber match, but a match during the Elimination Chamber special. Where Kevin Owens beat John Cena.
Yeah.
And beat him clean. That was an amazing moment. Because no one beats John Cena clean. No one.
Yeah.
But Kevin Owens did. And it really asserted his dominance in the main roster. And a fun trivia fact about KO, actually, he's so far the only wrestler to actually wrestle on every single pay-per-view within his debut year.
Yeah.
The only one. Not even Undertaker, John Cena, or anyone else did that. No one else did that. And I thought that was an amazing fact to know, that Kevin Owens, of all people, is the first ever person to do that.
So that's 2. You got 3 more.
Alright, I got 3 more to go. I really, really liked Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
Amazing match. And also, I probably wouldn't put this match as part of the top 5 for me, but I'll also make this a side note. Daniel Bryan versus Triple H at the same show.
Yeah.
That was good too. The story they told throughout WrestleMania 30 for Daniel Bryan was really good. I loved it. But so that's 3 matches I've got so far. God, this is hard, honestly. I'm sorry this took me so long, guys. I just coming up with the top 5 matches that I've seen so far. It's kind of hard to do it. I've heard that the John Cena CM Punk match at Money in the Bank 2011 was really good. I really want to go back and watch that match for myself, though.
That's actually in my top 5. I'm gonna do mine next.
Okay.
That's in my top 5.
Okay. But I really want to go back and watch that match because I've heard that match is amazing. Like, I know the story around it was good because I've seen I've pretty much seen a lot of the build up for it. I just haven't seen the match itself. And I really like CM Punk's character, but I haven't seen him wrestle all that much.
He leaves after that match.
Yeah, well, for 8 whole days, but
yeah,
and then he comes back with a new theme and everything. But anyway, I gotta think of 2 more matches now. A lot of people may not like me saying this because I honestly didn't like the result of this match. It was at the very first pay-per-view that I watched. It was Fastlane 2015 because that was the first ever WWE event that I actually saw, that I watched, because I'll explain how I got into wrestling later. We'll talk about that near the end of this segment, but that was one of the first shows I watched, and the main event of that night was Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. Now look, I know Roman won the match, but it was a good match.
It was a great match.
It was a good match.
It really was.
And, I really think Lil Kuribo said it best, honestly, in a tweet of his, that in his eyes, if you can't enjoy a good wrestling match, no matter the result, like, if you can't enjoy the match for being a good match, and you're just mad about the result, and you hate the match just because of the result,
you're being too subjective.
Not just that, but he also said you're probably not even a true wrestling fan at that point. Which, maybe is a bit harsh, but at the same time I can see where he's coming from. Because really, I kind of agree to an extent. Because there are a lot of matches that I've seen. I love the match itself. But the result was one that I greatly disliked. And that happened a lot at WrestleMania this year.
Any of the Dean Ambrose matches lately.
Except the last 2. And honestly, though, the Silent match wasn't really all that good until the very end. But I do like the results of those matches because Ambrose won, thank God. He finally won some big matches, which he needed to do.
Big Mac John, don't lose. But Dean Ambrose should.
Honestly, you know what the funny thing is?
What?
I could honestly just list some of the U.S. Open Challenge matches. And I could probably make a top 5 out of just those.
Yeah, those are great.
Those were good, like, John Cena.
Which one's the best?
I'm going to make this one my last pick just so we can move on. I can really think about my top 5 later, but right now, if I had to pick the best match out of all those matches,
yeah,
John Cena versus Cesaro. That was an outstanding match. And people like to hate on Cena a lot, but the thing is, he's not a bad wrestler.
No, he puts on great matches.
He puts on great matches. It's just his character that people don't like, I think.
It's bland now.
It's bland.
We've seen it too much. Mm-hmm. It's been overdone.
I can see why people don't like him, but I respect him because he worked hard to get where he is now. And there's no denying that. He worked hard as hell to get where he is now. To be on the top of the company for the last almost 15 years, that's an accomplishment in and of itself. I mean, even if you don't like the guy, I can at least respect that. But, anyway, your turn. Top 5. Go.
Not in no particular order.
Yeah.
This is a match you need to go back and watch.
Okay.
I know you haven't watched it.
Okay.
Stone Cold versus The Rock 3.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of Attitude Era matches I need to go back and watch.
That match was one of the best matches I have ever seen. Because you got these two polar opposites. They're different in so many ways.
Yeah, you got Stone Cold, who's the he's Stone Cold.
And then you got The Rock, who is, of course, The Rock. But
yeah, I mean, you can't really say much more about those characters. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to describe them, really.
Yeah, but The Rock is more of a, microphone guy. He's more of a...
Oh, yeah, The Rock is probably one of the best talkers ever.
Yeah, he's not very technical, but Stone Cold
I will
has
say,
a little bit of both.
I would say he's not Paul Heyman,
Yeah.
but he's good.
Yeah.
He's not Paul Heyman or... I hate to say this, CM Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk is probably one of the best talkers around.
Oh, yeah.
But
But I'm not sure who to place in front of the other, CM Punk or The Rock, honestly. They can get great promos, though.
But
anyway,
the thing is, that match was the third of a set of matches that were so great, you can't really put anything against them.
And you know what other trilogy of matches? I mentioned the trilogy of matches earlier.
What?
It was John Cena versus KO.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I forgot to mention this when I talked about him, though. I didn't really think about this until after I saw something about it.
Yeah.
But those two never left the ring. They just put on a wrestling match.
Yeah.
And they were great. But anyway, continue now.
Another match I done said was
CM Punk, John Cena.
John Cena.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. That match was great from start to finish. You couldn't put, like I said, in these top five, you couldn't really put them above each other because they were all great matches.
And I think the funny thing is, that match, the CM Punk John Cena match, is one of the very, very few 5-star matches, according to Dave Meltzer, that WWE/F has ever put up.
Yeah.
And that says a lot.
Yeah, because Dave Meltzer's been doing this for a long time.
Oh, Dave Meltzer's one of the most respected wrestling insiders and critics ever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's that. And that match was a 5-star match, an actual 5-star match.
Yeah.
So that's one I definitely need to go back and watch. I definitely want to do that now. In fact, I might do that very soon because I have the network. I can do it whenever I want. So, anyway, so number 3, I guess, your third match, because we've said all we really need to say about that match.
Actually, I really like John Cena and Daniel Bryan. I really like that.
SummerSlam 2013, right? Is that right? I know it was at a SummerSlam.
No.
Which match are you talking about then?
I'm talking about WrestleMania.
I don't think that happened.
Yeah. He won the title at Mania and then lost it.
No, that was SummerSlam, dude. He won it at SummerSlam and then Randy Orton cashed in. And then he won it at WrestleMania. And kept it then.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
SummerSlam then.
Yeah, it was SummerSlam of, let's see, WrestleMania 30 was in 2014?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was SummerSlam 2013. Yeah.
That match was great. That match was great. Another match I liked, not because it was a great wrestling match, but it was a great moment. In my opinion anyway, was Ric Flair's retirement match against HBK. Have you ever seen that?
I have seen the end of that match. That's all I've seen of it, where, Shawn Michaels is in the corner about to perform Sweet Teen Music, and he looks Ric Flair pretty much dead in the eyes and, mouths, "I'm sorry, I love you," before he kicks him in the chin.
I believe that was one of the most emotional matches I've ever seen. Like, he's like, I don't want to do it, but I got to.
And the other thing about Ric Flair's retirement, though, was that next night on Raw, when the retirement ceremony actually happened, Undertaker came out, broke kayfabe, essentially. Undertaker never breaks kayfabe. He respected Flair that much.
Yeah. And he broke the internet, too.
Yeah, I believe they said it was it happened after the cameras rolled, like after Raw actually went off the air.
Yeah.
But still, the fact that Undertaker came out, and I think he actually, he gave Ric Flair the he
did that.
He kneeled.
Air. He kneeled on air.
That
was on air, but after he hugged him and started crying.
Yeah. When you can get the Undertaker to break kayfabe, oh my God.
Undertaker never breaks kayfabe.
Never. Not even now. He still doesn't. Like, when you see him working out, you only see his back, and the pictures are all in black and white from what I've seen. And he doesn't really go outside all that much to, make sure that he stays pale, essentially.
Yeah.
Because, being outside would give him an uncharacteristic tan. So, that's something that I admire about Undertaker, is that he's the only wrestler now that really keeps kayfabe like that really does it like that. Because he doesn't even show up to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because he thinks, it would look really stupid for Undertaker to be there in a suit and tie and stuff. So.
Yeah. But another thing I really dislike about that match, though, I love it, but Ric Flair, after that, he went to TNA and screwed everything up.
Yep.
He was like, fuck everybody. After everybody did that for him, it was like, fuck everybody.
Yeah, then he went to TNA, and he went to TNA and actually wrestled again. And that was kind of stupid, but, at the time, it was very emotional. So, is it all you got to say about that match?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so, hold up. Let me predict your fifth match. It is definitely, most certainly, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 20. Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
That wasn't one of the worst matches of all time or anything. Okay, I'm joking. Seriously, what is seriously your last one?
I'm on number 4, actually.
No, because you said Stone Cold Rock 3.
Yeah.
Cena, Punk, Money in the Bank 2011.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan, John Cena, and then Ric Flair's retirement match.
Yeah.
So this is the last one. This is number 5.
This is a match I go back to, and I mean I watched this as a kid, but I go back to it because I love this man. I love Mick Foley and Undertaker. That match, though.
The Hell in a Cell match where
yeah.
By God, they killed him.
Again, breaking the internet. They put that shit on everything now. Every time something happens, by God, they killed him. He's broken in half.
Yeah, and also, can I just say, Michael Cole, that for the love of mankind line.
Yes. No.
Screw you. Screw whoever wrote that line for you.
But seriously, though, it's just like, that match. If you go back and watch it, it was so brutal.
Uh-huh.
I was really young when I watched that match. Like, I was like 3 years old.
Oh, God.
And I remember that. And I'm like...
I bet you were thinking along the same lines as JR. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. There's no way he's alive.
And this is back when I was really young, I was stupid. Because...
You thought it was real, right?
Yeah. Like, for a while, I thought it was real when I was young. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people did when they were young, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Undertaker killed Mick Foley.
That's what you thought at the time. And then
He did, though.
And then Mick Foley got up.
How did he get up? Tell me that. How did he survive that?
No, how did he get up and then climb back up to the top of the cell? That's what I want to know. And
then he falls through the cell, and like 6 or 7 officials rush the ring, like, oh my God, he is dead.
But you know what the thing is though? The shove off the top of the cell into the announce table,
yeah.
That was planned. But the going through the cell was not.
I know, and everybody rushed the ring like, is this guy dead or what? And then he still got up and finished the match after that.
Anyone else probably would have been, except John Cena. John Cena would have just healed right before he went up to the top of the cage.
Yeah.
He would have been like, whoo!
But seriously, man, like, what in the hell was he thinking?
He's crazy. He was crazy. Jeez.
Alright, but since you listed number 5, pick your number 1. You don't have to list the other ones, but pick your number 1. And I'm going to pick your number 1.
So out of those 5, I got to pick my favorite match.
Yes.
So let's see. I said Zayn versus Nakamura. Owens Cena at Elimination Chamber. Bryan Orton Batista at WrestleMania. Bryan Reigns at Fastlane 2015, and Cena versus Cesaro on Raw during the U.S. Open Challenge. Just for the monumental moment, just the moment at the very end of the match that had me just in utter shock, Owens Cena. It's gotta be for me, because that match showed me that, like, hey, this company can put on some really good matches, and it can surprise you. Because I seriously went into that thinking, Cena's winning. There's no way. And you know that too. Like, I think we were doing pick'ems at the time, and I know in my pick'ems I put Cena, and I think I had him as a pretty high probability. I think I had him as one of my top picks. And then Owens won, and I was just like, what? Because even though I hadn't watched wrestling all that much up to that point, I already knew Cena was the superhero. He was the guy. He was Superman. He wins. Lol, Cena wins. I knew that was the meme. I knew that was the thing. I knew it happened all the time.
Alright, but I gotta get this on recording.
Okay.
Because nobody will believe it unless you say it's true.
Okay.
You've seen it. You know I predicted it.
Uh-huh.
Did I predict the end of the streak? Yes or no?
Yes, you did. You are the only person that can actually say that you did, because you have proof.
Yeah.
You have proof that you predicted that.
I have irrefutable proof that I predicted the end of the streak.
It's an unedited Facebook comment. And I know that sounds like, what, that's proof? But, it is. Because you didn't edit it, did you, at all?
No. I didn't touch it.
Yeah, so it's still there from all the way before WrestleMania 30. You predicted Brock Lesnar would win that match. No one else in that entire thread did. No one else in the entire... You were the one person that predicted Lesnar. So, literally everyone else at the time was thinking, oh, Taker's got this. It's the streak. It's never going to end at this point. And then Lesnar won. And it shocked everyone. It shocked the world. It was, by far, it will go down in history as probably the most shocking moment in all of wrestling, honestly.
I know. And I predicted it. And I said, you know what? Lesnar wins. And you'll never take that away from me. As hard as you try, you will never take that away from me. You can't.
Nope, I can't. No one can. You're the only person that can legitimately say that. And, I remember someone on a video that talked about the top 10 shocking WrestleMania moments or something like that. said that no one saw this coming, and if you say you did, you're a liar.
Adam from What Culture?
Yeah, but you have proof that you actually predicted this.
And I said it in What Culture. I said that. I tweeted that. I said, fuck you, Adam. No, I didn't actually say fuck you, Adam, but...
Because Adam's cool.
Adam is cool. But I did tweet that in What Culture, just to see.
Nice. But, anyway, so now it's your turn. Pick your favorite match out of the 5 you mentioned.
You know which one I'm going with.
I got it. Donald Trump versus Rosie O'Donnell.
No, but seriously, which one do you think I'm going with?
Let me see. You don't have a Goldberg match in your top 5, so I can't pick that one. So I can't pick anything in that.
The thing is, Goldberg had good matches, but there was no real match that was like,
yeah.
Oh my god, the best match he ever had.
I'm gonna guess you're gonna go with Undertaker McFoley.
No.
Really?
Actually, Cena and Punk.
Oh.
Cena and Punk was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Now I have to go back and watch it.
It really is.
I've heard so much about this match. Because even though I've only been into wrestling for a little over a year now, I've heard so much about this match.
The funny thing
and I've seen all the build-up.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it wasn't just a wrestling match. It was technical. They took it every step. Like, if you played 13, so you know about how it went from an F5 to an Anaconda Vice to a...
You mean a or FU or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
F5 is Brock Lesnar's move.
Yeah. AA to a whatever.
GTS. Anaconda Vice, STF,
Yeah, when Cena hit the STF out of the GTS, it was just a technical match. You were like on the edge of your seat. But you were thinking Cena was going to win the whole time because
it looked like Punk was leaving the company and...
Punk's leaving the company, what?
Yeah, and...
They can't let Punk win this.
Yeah, because, that's the thing. Usually when a wrestler has to leave the company, they drop the title.
Oh, yeah. And side note, a match that I saw when I was really young. I'm not sure if it was an actual match or not, but I saw it when I was really young. I remember watching it. Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. Side note.
The double turn? Or was it?
Yeah, the double turn.
The double turn. Where Stone Cold passed out in the sharpshooter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually watched that when I was really young. I'm not sure if I watched it. I don't think I watched that live, but I watched it when I didn't know what was going on. And that match has touched me ever since. Like, not touched me, but it's like, it is one of the greatest memories I have of wrestling from a young age.
Yeah, because, I've seen the ending to that match, too. I haven't really seen the ending because, no one ever shows a video. But I've seen the pictures of, Austin's face just red. Just completely red with blood.
Yeah.
And just... Whew.
If you watch that Stone Cold DVD I have, it actually shows it.
Oh, that's right, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It showed him pass out.
Yeah. Ooh.
But that's the thing is, I wonder if he actually passed out or not.
I don't know.
Because, he could have kayfabe passed out.
Yeah.
But either way, the significance of him taking the sharpshooter and passing out to it instead of tapping out was one of the coolest moments I believe I've ever seen.
Mhm. I don't doubt it. But anyway, so this has been going on for an hour and a half now. We've been almost an hour and a half now.
What's the next pay-per-view?
The next pay-per-view is Money in the Bank.
Do they have the matches yet?
I don't think so because the pay-per-view is not going to be for a little while. I know the Money in the Bank ladder match is going to happen. And we know the main event. But we don't know who New Day's facing. We don't know who Charlotte's going to face for the Women's Championship. I don't know who The Miz is going to face for the Intercontinental Championship. And I don't know who's going to face Rusev for the U.S. title.
Alright, but join us next time, guys.
Although I am pretty sure AJ Styles and John Cena is going to be in the Money in the Bank match.
But like, subscribe, join us for the next podcast.
Thank you for tuning in to Random Rambles.
And join into our podcast where we pick Money in the Bank 2016.
Whenever that'll be. I don't know if it'll be next week because I don't think Money in the Bank's for a good while. But anyway.
That'll be another podcast.
That will be that'll be at the end of a podcast because wrestling's always going to be at the end of one of these things.
No, I was talking about we can do that.
Oh, separately?
Yeah, because if we do that during a Random Ramble,
true.
It won't really have time to do. We'll have to do fast pick them, and I don't want to do that. I want to break down every match. Yeah,
that's true. So anyway, that's that. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. We apologize if you don't like wrestling. You listen to that entire segment. But
that was the whole segment.
that was the whole segment. But
the whole podcast.
That's the podcast. I don't think we have anything else to talk about right now. So
we'll see you guys later.
See you guys on the next podcast. Later.